So everyone knows I always do this before we start. Not a financial advisor, not a financial anything, but you guys know what we're about is educating everyone out there and exposing you to this space, cryptocurrency and blockchain. Ben Walker is from Super Shiba, which is a new project that's come out whose goal is to help people move in this space with safety, without the fear of scams or rug pulls. Super Shiba will only be listing projects that are verified and audited, which I think is really, really cool. They've also got some huge things happening, and I'm really grateful for your time tonight, Ben, especially with 100%. That tech issue just before.
No, it's all good. Hey, we've done a lot of AMAs. We got more planned for us, and there's always a technical issue of some sort. So don't even worry about it. It's part of the game.
Yes. So before everyone jumped on, Ben and I were having a bit of a chat, and he actually grew up for a little bit in Onehunga back in Auckland, New Zealand. So he knows our type of people, which is really cool.
Kia ora, crypto fam.
I was also telling him about our community, our SmartProjx community, and about our DNA community, actually. So he's up with the play of what we're about, and he's here to share what Super Shiba is about. So thanks again, Ben, for being here with us. Can you just give a little bit of a background about yourself? And then we'll jump into it.
Yeah, so I've had a background in sales, a little bit in marketing. I've kind of like, what's the phrase? Jack of all trades and master of none, I guess. And so I've done photography, videography, but I've also done fundraising for nonprofits. And so I kind of understand the aspect of people putting money into something, especially in the nonprofit sector. You know, I love coming into the crypto world because you're compelling people to invest in a project that you believe in. But, you know, as long as the project continues to succeed and you continue to keep delivering on your project and delivering utility and delivering things the community wants and longs for, then they also get a financial return, which is different from what I used to do. But in the nonprofit, you know, sector, when you're raising funds, the thing I feel like carried over into my heart for our project is people want to know where's my money going? What's this going for? Like, what's this doing? And I may not get a monetary return, but I want to know, can I trust the people I'm giving the money to? You know, can I trust? Because you hear the horror stories about nonprofits all the time. And, you know, when I came into crypto, you know, I'm newer to crypto. So I've only been in crypto for about 4 months. And I come with like a fresh set of eyes. I feel like as I came into it, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's a rug pull. And they all joke and high five. They're like, oh, I haven't been rugged in a week. I needed that one. And I'm like, man, because I'm newer to this, it just is, I don't accept that reality. I reject that reality that I put money into something and then it's just going to slip away. And so there's certain things, you know, basically, we all got into a voice chat when Super Shiba first started, and it was just going to be a meme coin. We were just going to do, you know, a community-driven, fair launch meme coin. And we all got into a voice chat one day. And when we got into voice chat, we started introducing ourselves to each other. And I was actually an investor. I wasn't there when the token was created or anything, but I threw in money because I had spent 2 days on my computer, 2 days not working. I was just doing crypto, trying to find a project that wasn't a scam, and I couldn't for 2 days. I think it was like 20 hours of trading over those 2 days. And then I found Super Shiba, and I found our dev moms, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a legit project. And before I knew it, I threw a bunch of money into it, and I was like, what are we doing? Because I was just so excited that it wouldn't be a rug pull. And we got into a voice chat, we started talking, and we were all like, yeah, I've been rugged here, I've been rugged there. We just kind of, as a community, came together and said, you know, what if we created our own exchange? And all these things that are the buzzwords in DeFi, liquidity locked and ownership renounced and devs doxed, you know, when you're new, it's like a foreign language. but you just know that's good. Apparently that's what you need so you don't get scammed, which is actually not always the case. And maybe we can get to that in a little while. But we said, what if we run people through a security process? What if we took our devs through the code line by line? What if the only way they could get on our exchange is they had to be audited first? Because what bothers me about PancakeSwap, if you've ever used it, is there's a little warning sign that comes up right when you log into PancakeSwap and you type in the contract and you paste it in there, and it's a warning sign that anybody can create a contract. That's just crazy to me. I'm getting ready to put $500 or $100. Or I started off with $400 in crypto, and I just put like $10 here and $50 there. It's just crazy to me that they have to give you a warning sign on the thing they built to tell you your money might get stolen. And so we don't have that warning sign. We have a tier system. People have to go through all that. So that's kind of, in essence, what we're doing is we're wanting to create a safer place. It is DeFi. So there's no way we can make it 100% safe, but if we could reduce it to 90% safe or 99% safe, and we can take everything through a fine tooth comb, and we can make sure that it's been audited by a reputable company before it hits our exchange, then people in our community were just jazzed about that. So the way we explain Super Shiba is we're not a gem. Everyone says altcoin gem. We're a cave filled with gems. And so the longer you stay here, the longer you explore the cave, the more you'll find gems. And so it's early days for us, So I appreciate the beginnings you guys are at, because we were there not long ago, and I think this thing's gonna blow up. So that's kind of a background and everything.
The thing I love about it is a lot of people in our community have experienced the scams, the rug pulls, you name it. We've experienced it. So it is really exciting to come across a project whose focus is to make sure we're able to trade safely without those warnings popping up all the time. So that was one of my questions. The interface of Super Shiba, the exchange, the Safe Dex, is very similar to PancakeSwap, which in a way is really good, because for new users or people who have experience with PancakeSwap, it won't be too hard for them to use or get used to. PancakeSwap and the Safe Super Shiba exchange are very user-friendly, very easy to navigate. But apart from the warnings, the knowledge that the tokens on the Super Shiba exchange have been audited, have been verified, are there other things that set you apart from PancakeSwap?
Yeah, I see Byron Crimmins is in here. He's our blockchain analyst. He helps me track the wallets in our project, find suspicious activity, if anything's happening on a project that wants to come into ours. And Byron, I'll send him a DM and I'll say, hey, this project, actually, if you don't mind, I just want to maybe, Byron, is it cool if you just explain? I come to you, I say, hey, this project is coming on, and then I send it to you, and you go through a security check as someone who's very familiar with the blockchain. Can you explain? You'll have to unmute. Can you explain what it is that you look for?
I certainly can. I'm just at my computer now. Let me connect to my computer. It'll give me like 20 seconds so I can have some good audio and be listening to me. 1 second.
While he's doing that, you go ahead and mute, and I'll talk about a couple things. Give us a thumbs up when you're ready. So there are things, before I take it to Byron, there are things that we're actually doing a massive overhaul on our website right now, and it's going to be coming real soon. And we've been telling our community that, but we're actually like, it's coming real soon. So we've got a massive overhaul on our website and also on our UI. The UI that you're looking at for the Safe Dex was just our beta version. And ever since our beta version launched, we've been working on overhauling that. And so we've actually got a team working on that right now. But when you come in, we have 3 tiers: silver, gold, and diamond. So silver means that either the ownership needs to be renounced is a hot topic. We'll get to that in a second. So if the project allows it, the ownership needs to be renounced, but mainly the liquidity needs to be locked, because what can happen on a project is if you go into a project and they're like, it's safe and there's no suspicious wallets and everything looks good. If they leave the liquidity pool, which is where you're putting your money, if they leave that unlocked, you got to think of it like a big jar that you're putting all your money in, and then there's this little secret valve at the bottom, and they just open it up and drain the liquidity pool and take your money and run. And so we want to make sure that the liquidity is locked. At that silver level, they have to be audited, and we actually audit their auditing company, in the sense that there's a lot of auditing companies out there. Some have really great reputations. Some are brand new on the market. So when someone says, "Oh yeah, I have an audit," well, how many followers are on their Twitter? Like, how long have these guys been around? Like, is this just your auditing firm for your token, and there's like 5 followers on it? So then when they come to us with an audit, if sometimes we reject the audit and we go, in fact, Dealmaker is one of the guys on our team, and he handles a lot of this too, with the deal making aspect of it in negotiations. So they may come to us and say, "We got an audit." Well, we want to look at that audit. So we want to make sure when we're giving it to our community that we've done our research on that. And then we have our devs actually go through the code. There are things you can put in the code that can still pass some audits. If there's a suspicious line of code in there that maybe some auditing firms use a bot, they just use a computer to scan it real quick, and they might miss something. And so what we do is we have our devs and Byron, our blockchain analyst, he goes through it line by line, looking for suspicious code. And maybe even Byron, you can explain that process, and I'll hand it over to you if that's okay.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, Ben. Just checking, can everyone hear me okay? Is that coming through?
Yes, we can. Thanks, Byron.
Excellent, great. Well, so yeah, my name is Byron, and one of my roles here at the Safe Dex is that when we have new projects that are applied for a listing, I'll go through, not only review the audit and review things that were flagged there, but the actual blockchain ledger as well. So typically, sometimes you might find some projects that are suspicious. What they might do is they might send a large amount of tokens to some variety of wallets, and then as the project's going, they're selling them off, and it's a slow rug, right? So one of the things I do is I go through that, I look at the original transactions, I look at the top holders, I look at the transaction activity, what are the recent transactions, do they appear legitimate, things like that. Then if anything sort of raises a question, there's some sort of top wallet that maybe was gifted tokens from the when the contract was launched, and I'll actually reach out to those projects and go, "Hey, like guys, come across this. What's the story behind this? Can I get some clarification? Do you have any evidence to support that?" And I've had sometimes in a obviously good case scenario, they come, "Oh yeah, that's our dev wallet. These are our transactions here. This is what these have been spent on, and you can see here. Oh, great, yep, cool. That's looking good." And it's multi-signature, or these people have access to it, so it's then if those people are doxed as well, they're responsible for it. They can't just run away and leave it because they've given their identity out, things like that. However, a lesser favorable example where we'd actually, look at what happens, we ask, "Hey, what's the deal with that?" And then we don't hear back, or they, withdraw their listing, or they blocked me or something on Telegram net. So they've been caught out, and they're like, "Oh, they don't really want to address it." So there's the situations like that occur. And so, touching on the point of your original question as well, that familiar sort of pancake swap look, absolutely, that's great. It gets people that aren't really, because our community is all about as well, making DeFi somewhere safe, particularly newcomers that maybe can't go through those things. So having that platform there, and we're actually looking at, where UI right now, we're looking at actually redesigning that somewhat as well. And that's going to be a progression as well. So it's going to be more differentiated as this project continues, and there's already sort of graphics designers employed to facilitate that right now. But right now we've got that familiar, nice pancake swap-esque interface.
Yeah.
Maybe Byron, just real quickly in like 10 or 15 seconds, the silver, gold, diamond, just explain the difference in those tiers and what it takes to get on the exchange.
Yeah, great. So we've got 3 security tiers. So when we go through and we approve tokens to go into the exchange, we will give them a rating, and that rating is something that's quite fluid as well. So there's 3 tiers. There's there's silver, gold, and diamond are our 3 tiers of listings that we list on our exchange. And we tell projects when they come on as well, like, look, if you want to launch it as a silver tier, that's fine. And then later, when you fulfill these requirements, then we can move you up to a diamond tier or move you up to a gold tier, depending on which one's suitable there. So for our originally, the base requirement, one of the things that's required for all, I'll kind of go through, I'll start with the silver and then say what the additional requirements are to get onto that gold and to get onto that diamond, right? So for silver, for For silver, we need an audit by a third party, so an independent audit. We need evidence that there's liquidity is time locked, so they can't just put the liquidity from the project and you don't have anything to trade against. The project's got a roadmap and a website. And then obviously to pass, as well as the audit, they have to pass our blockchain vetting, things like that. Then for the gold, the additional requirements are to be publicly or internally doxed, and have an additionally have a white paper as well. So in terms of they can send us information about their name, photo ID, or give that out to the public, and that's a bit safer there. They're responsible, they can't go up and leave. And then finally, that higher tier, the highest tier, there's that diamond certified. So that's we've received their government ID. So some of these tokens that we've listed that are applied for a diamond tier status, we've actually got their passport, we've got their driver's license. So they're actually responsible. They've been KYC'd, so there's no there would be repercussions for any sort of malicious activity there, and that supports that. And the final requirement for a diamond tier is a high quality independent audit by partners such as Solidity Finance or Certex. So two auditing firms that are required, that are kind of recognized as highest tier in that blockchain space at the moment.
So how would a user recognize a project on those different levels?
Can I? Oh yeah, no, you go, Byron.
I'd say one last thing before I hand over to you, Ben. So we've actually got we've got a little bit of a pamphlet here. I can almost link to the group here that's in. So just to share that now, I think that'd be good. But the short answer is we'll actually have those listings, what they mean, on the website, and then next to each single project, they will have that badge, or that silver badge, that gold badge, and that diamond badge. And we'll have it where you can hover over it as well, and you're comfortable to pop up saying what that means, more info, and you can then review those at your own time as well.
That's really cool. I really like that. That'll give so many people confidence in interacting with those tokens in those projects. That's great. So you guys are the first to do it, right?
Well, I mean, we like to say that we're always trying to pioneer. So we've got a few things we're getting ready to do. Some of them I can't talk about that have never been done in DeFi before. And so I think really what our heartbeat is not to be flashy and be show off like, oh, we're going to do stuff no one's done. Because that, there's a lot yet to be done in DeFi. I think DeFi is about to go mainstream. It's not mainstream yet. It's going to go mainstream. And that's why we need to get security behind it. And that's why we need to make the user interface feel exactly like an extension of you're used to your Android phone or your iOS. It's very content rich. It's very easy to use, icons, all that kind of stuff. And that's what we're wanting to do. But, I think there are some exchanges out there since we started our project that have kind of caught on to this. And we're awesome with that. Like if we can spread this idea around DeFi, and it can't just be one project that does this. It has to be many. It has to be communities. It has to be people in DeFi that go, I'm tired of getting rugged, so I'm going to get behind this project that's doing that. I'm going to get behind this project. And the other thing that we do as well that I think is unique for us for sure is, and Dealmaker's in here. Dealmaker, if I'm putting you on the spot, you don't have to chime in, but if you want to, just interrupt me, is that, as we have people that are applying, they may have a utility that we had planned secretly. We're like, in 6 months, 9 months, we'll do this. We're not going to talk about it yet because we don't want the idea to be stolen. And literally, we've been in conversations with people that are coming on our exchange like, okay, I want to tell you what we want to do, but you can't tell anybody. And we're like, that's what we want to do. So what we do is then we form a partnership with them. We don't want to compete against them if we don't have to. They've already got a team going to manage that. Maybe we can bring a partnership on board there. So Dealmaker, I don't know if you're in the house or if you can talk, but if you have anything you want to add to that, feel free to.
Yeah, I can add to that, man. I think, we talk about building this ecosystem, and as part of that is, as you said, Ben, is building these partnerships and merging technologies. And so what we're finding really powerful in the DeFi space is being able to collaborate with lots of other projects. And instead of all competing against each other, we will provide our skills and our community and our technology, and they will provide their technology, and we bring it all together. Because one of the downfalls, I think, with DeFi is that people start projects, and even if they're legitimate projects, it doesn't mean that they're going to succeed. because they just haven't got the resources or the skills. Whereas if we combine forces, then there's much higher chance of projects succeeding. And that's what people are realizing. So we're actually, yes, we're building this ecosystem, but we're actually building a project machine. So we've currently got 6 project managers and 5 devs on our who are working across the exchange, and they're working on the actual exchange, but they're also working across different projects as well. And we've got demand for another 20 project managers and 20 devs. So we're growing at a massive rate, and that's a significant part of that is due to projects coming to us and say, look, we want to work with you, help us make our project a success, and this is what we can deliver to your community.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is, you know, especially in this space at the moment with DeFi, you think that a project is just one project, but it's not. It's a whole heap of little projects that end up weaving together, and then then you start talking to others who are in the space, and partnering with them is really the better way to go. Or else you just have all this competition happening and it doesn't get anywhere. It's just like you may as well stay in CeFi, you know. So I love the fact that you guys are growing at such a rapid rate. And when I saw, I'm not sure where I saw it, but you guys looking for more people to come in and help support the full project. It's just amazing. It's a lot of fun watching you guys move and work. So thank you for that, Dealmaker. I've heard a lot about you actually. From Laney.
He's the deal maker.
Yeah.
I was also speaking to Shaz today. She came on board.
Oh, Shaz? You were talking to Shaz. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We're trying to get more women into crypto, and Laney has really helped us out with that. She's like got this little group called the Queens of Shiba. And, you know, like we just got this group of women, because women coming into DeFi is very important as well, you know, and so we're loving the last few days. We've had more and more women that have been coming into it, and it's pretty cool. And I won't lie, when the women talk on voice chat, all the men get silent because they want to hear what is being said.
There's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of us girls out there moving in this space and seeing the huge potential that it has. So well done for recognizing that. That's great. All of the people, tell me if I can't ask this question, but everyone that's coming into your project to work in the team, are they doing it on a volunteering basis, or how does it work? Are they people that are enthusiastic about the project, or are they people that you've specifically employed for a certain task, or is it a mix of everything?
You know, I would love to answer that question, but I actually feel like Dealmaker would be able to answer it more because he's been bringing on more people than I have recently. So Dealmaker, do you mind if I field that one to you?
Yeah, no worries, man. So I'd say 99% of people are volunteers and or investors. So all the execs, for example, are original investors, and we just want to see the project succeed. And we don't get paid unless the project succeeds. And that's our incentive. And that's the majority of people that are in that position, regardless of, you know, whether they've got $50 in it or $10,000 in it. It's like everyone wants to see it succeed so that they can see their bags grow and then they can see their investment grow. Now, there are some caveats to that. There's members of the team who put in a lot of work, and we want to make sure that, yes, their bags grow, but they also get remunerated. So we do try and create opportunities for people to earn income within the team because we value them and we want to keep them as employees. Yeah. So we run some commission schemes for people who work with us, and when the opportunity arises, we are able to offer some token distributions based on sort of IDOs coming through, or whatever partnerships we're building. So we do offer those opportunities. The only reason we go outside of our community and volunteers is if there's specific pieces of work that we need to be completed that we can't find within our community. And the recent UI change was one of those, because we just couldn't find the skill sets that we needed, but we didn't want to hold the project up.
Yeah.
But yeah, 99% is volunteers, and that really creates a lot of passion within the organization, because everyone who is there wants to work.
Yeah, definitely. And for people coming in, people on this call or who will be watching the recording, I think they will really appreciate that it's not this little group of people that already have heaps of money and they just want to make more money. It's literally a community that's pushing the project for its success. I really like that. We're all big about community within SmartProjx and our outer groups. So that's really cool to hear. Another aspect of Super Shiba is the NFT platform that is about to come. Can you share a bit about that?
Yes, I can. So we have some changes we're making on that right now, but in essence, there's been a little bit of a hang up with us being able to deliver that. It is completely built, but there are negotiations involved in that process. And one of the things that we do whenever we launch something is when we do it, we want to do it right. We want to make sure that people enjoy it. Most recently we launched something called Vaults, and that people just went crazy over, but we launched it right. We could have done that, maybe a week ago, but it just wouldn't have been right. And so the NFT marketplace is dragging just a little bit from where we'd like to see it, but it's because we're bringing the right people in. In fact, just today we made a decision on what we were going to do to make it even better, even more premium and easier to use. And so that's going to take, in essence, what Dealmaker was saying, we actually have to bring people in externally just above and beyond what our two devs can do. Our devs, in fact, most of our mods do this. All of our devs do this, and our exec team does this. We work like 16, 18-hour days most days. And so, the devs are just we have two main devs prior to today that they just do everything on the exchange, everything on the Super Shiba aspect, everything in negotiations, talking with other devs, looking at code, things like that. So we've actually needed to bring on some people who have more specific skill sets that can help us do that. And that just kind of happened today. So because of that, now we're looking at what we were doing before, going, ooh, let's make it a little bit better, let's tweak it a little bit more, and then we'll release it and it will be great.
Awesome. So what kind of NFTs will you have on your platform?
So mainly it first started out as the idea of we're a meme coin, we're a dog coin. And so we had this idea that, memes are here to stay. Love them or leave them, they're here to stay. And, you try and explain to people who were around before DeFi that you can make, there's some of these stories out there, people have made millions of dollars off just a meme. There's no utility, there's no nothing. They put in $1,000 at the beginning and now they have $1 million, and that gets everyone hyped up, and that's what they want to be. So memes are here to stay, and it's actually an industry. There's hundreds of millions of dollars a day traded in volume off of just meme coins. And so as a result of that, I think having a meme NFT marketplace is something that's very appealing to us, very appealing to our community. We actually, after we announced that, and we on the back end have started to dev some of that and look at what that would entail, we got interest from artists, we got interest from different groups, I personally received some DMs from some musicians and some animators and things like that. And we were like, oh man, I think it's actually going to be a lot bigger than just memes. And so, I was talking with you before we came on here, and you were talking to me about, and correct me if I have this wrong, but in essence, you're wanting to preserve the Polynesian culture through NFTs. And I went crazy when I heard that, because that's where it's at. It's preserving this in a digital way so that it lasts forever. And there's a way to authenticate the artist. There's a way to make sure the artist gets paid, that they don't get ripped off. There's so much copyright infringement out there. And so I would love after this call, we can figure out if we can talk with you guys in some way, shape, or form and see what we can.
Oh, we will be talking.
Yeah, see if maybe there's a partnership and look at what you guys have and basically just kind of come in and maybe bring some advice to what it's like with the experience we have on how we could best execute it and see what we could do. At the very least, we could do something. So yeah, I'm really excited about that though.
Yeah, the thing I love about NFTs is the fact that it is for the artists, for the creatives, because I mean they're all getting ripped off. All the management fees go, and then all this and that goes, and they end up with like being able to spend 5% of what they've made from their own creativity, which is a load of bollocks. Excuse my French. But NFTs really protect that. They can have their tokens, their artworks tokenized, music, whatever. Even wine is being NFT'd.
No way.
It is, yeah.
So Camila, who I'll direct you to, because I actually just look after the community management aspect, is when we get finished with this, you need to DM Dealmaker, and he will run you through the process and see what kind of negotiation we can come up that helps you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've already got a plan, so we're doing it.
All right, you heard it from the Dealmaker. I can come on and say, let's do something, but really, that's the guy that makes it happen. So that's awesome. Good stuff. Awesome. So we're doing something, people.
Yes, we are. I actually wanted to ask you, as the community director, what is your role? Because I haven't come across that as part of a project team, but I really like your title. I think it's awesome. You sound like you've got the cooler job out of everyone.
They get me on there and I just get people hyped up. No, I don't know. Sometimes I think about how to explain what I do. I answer a lot of DMs. I direct people who have got questions. But right now at this level, it's actually a lot of our mods that do that for me. And I'm so grateful they do that. So a lot of people, the community is coming to a place where it's really starting to manage itself. I am kind of the ear to the ground to our executive team about things that are happening in our community, things people are concerned about, things people are excited about. Whenever ideas come up and people go, hey, like for example, we had a pool where you could take and put, and maybe we can get to pooling a little while, but you take your Super Shiba tokens, you put it into a pool, and what it does is it allows you to harvest treats, which is the native token of our exchange. Well, I went on voice chat yesterday for like 2 hours, or the day before, saying, we need to go into pools. Everybody go into pools, get treats. You can make coins out of it. And yeah, let's go in. And then everybody did it. And the APR went from 140% overnight to 80. So then,
yeah, I did notice that actually.
Yeah. So then someone DM'd me. I was busy on calls and stuff like that and connecting with our team and hearing what they had to say that I could help our community out with. And then someone DM'd me that was a top holder and said, yo, dude, you told me to do this thing and now the APR is lower. I said, I got you, my man. So I went to the dev and I said, come on, bro. Can you up the percent for my brother over here? Like just up it just a little bit. And he's like, yeah, that's actually totally doable. Whoa, wow. A lot of people are pooling. And so he took it from 80% to 120%. And since then, when people saw that, they put even more in, and I think it's down to 110. So, it's kind of that role of just liaising between the community and kind of our exec team. And then probably the other thing that I do a lot is early on, they called me the preacher, because I just get in the voice chat and I just preach. I preach out about whatever topics that are important around DeFi. I talk about the things that are coming up that I can't talk about, but I might be able to share a little bit of details and just make sure that there's energy in the room. But honestly, I have to pass it off to a lot of the mods at our community because, I disappeared for an entire day today on calls doing different things. And they
really noticed.
Yes, but they were answering DMs and they were sending me DMs, hey, this guy needs to know this. And so, I actually, what really makes our community great, it looks all great and I have the community director thing, but really the people are what makes it so great.
Yeah, it's all about the people, and that's where the magic is. Definitely, that's where the magic is. So another thing I noticed on the chat today is some amazing things are about to happen this weekend. not just one amazing thing, but a few. Can you enlighten us a little bit on
I
this?
will, but I'll give you the premise for it. So because I have a background working in fundraising for nonprofits, you know, when you come into the DeFi space, you need to make sure your details are in order. And I'm actually, maybe it's just a preference, and I try and not let that bleed through. But I think in the initial stages of our project, I did, and I'm kind of learning from that now. But I'm kind of against hype, like false hype, not hype in general, but just false hype, where it's like, you know, the Donald Trump button, buy, but they don't have a website. No one's talking on the voice chat. Nothing's happening. And you're like, there's no substance here. So I really just try and like talk to the exec team and go, okay, when can we do this? Boom, we drop it. And then I talk about it. But I've gotten a lot of feedback from our community actually in the past week as I kind of faded away from doing what I used to call battle cries, where I just come in and I just, you know, we need to be reinvigorated. We need to be reminded, why are we doing this thing? You know, because in crypto, things move so fast. You could be on a very legitimate project, but you see another project that's mooning and you could have 5x'd your money and then it rug pulls. And what you end up doing is you're jumping from one thing to another, because that's how exciting crypto is. And so what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to come in and remind us, why are we here? What are we building? We're breathing integrity into the DeFi space. We're going to get to make a lot of money, and we never had to scam anybody to do it. You're going to be able to sleep at night, and you're going to be able to tell the story to your kids that, you know, hey, daddy, why do we have this home? Or why do we get this? Or why do we have that? Well, I mean, that's my dream. You know, I don't know about you, but that's my dream. I want to buy a home with crypto, and I want to be able to tell my kid, I did this because daddy made crypto safer for other people, and other people liked that. And so I got paid doing that. But, you know, as of lately, I've been moving more towards a little bit on the hype side, just to remind people, reinvigorate them. So there's a couple things I can't talk about, but what I can say is that up until now, we've only had pooling for the native, or we've had pooling for Super Shiba, but we haven't had vaults for Super Shiba. And the dev talked to me yesterday. I talked a little bit about it in voice chat, but we're actually going to be doing vaults for Super Shiba. And our goal with vaults, if no one's familiar with it, it sounds like a lot of the community in here actually is kind of already into Super Shiba. But with the vaults at the moment, you have to go in with treats. But if you hold Super Shiba, what we found people doing is they were selling off some of their Super Shiba to get more treats to go in there and get these coins. And we wanted to create an equilibrium for every investor in both aspects, in treats and in Super Shiba. So we said, well, why don't we do a vault for treats, and at the same time we do a vault for Super Shiba? And then you're like a kid in a candy shop, and you don't know which one to put into, and you're like, I gotta have both. And so that's something we're doing. And then what I can say is that we're about to do something on the exchange level real soon that is never been done before in DeFi. And that's one of those things we'll come back to the conversation and whenever we execute it. And you could call me a liar if we didn't execute on that, but it's never been done before in DeFi. And so I'm really excited about that. We have a future IDO coming up soon, you know, and so we're getting ready to start stacking our IDOs, where one IDO will happen. And, you know, as we continue, maybe Dealmaker can even fill us in. I know we can't give names, but we're starting to get a lot of people coming in wanting to do pre-sales. Isn't that right, Dealmaker?
Yeah, I'm talking to, I think over the last couple of days, we spoke to four or five people disclosing. It's quite a complex process, and there's a lot involved in bringing through an IDO. So it is time consuming. But yeah, in the last 2 days, we've closed 4 off. And so now we're just trying to arrange the timing of those and the marketing and aligning it with the project's objectives as well. So, and as part of those IDOs, they will all be going into the vault as well. So we've got a lot going into vaults over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
That's awesome. I've actually enjoyed staking my Super Shiba for my treats, and then I've chucked my treats into the vault, and I'm earning in the vault. So it's like a nice little flow happening.
Is everybody familiar with
crazy.
it? Do you mind if I give like a 30-second what it actually does, if no one's aware of what pooling and vaulting
Yes, you
is?
may.
Okay, So what you do is you buy one token, you buy Super Shiba, and there's reflection on that. Or what you can do is you can take that and put it into what's called a pool, and there's a 2% fee. But when you put it into that pool, what it allows you to do is harvest the native token to our exchange called treats. Now, treats in the last 8 or 9 days is like 5x'd, right? And it's because this vaults thing that we're doing, IDOs, where you'll, on a future IDO, we've had situations where people who have a large portion of treats go into the IDO and they harvest sometimes more than they could have max bought their BNB for the pre-sale just through harvesting with their treats. And so what you have is you have buy Super Shiba, earn treats, take treats, and right now you can earn HODL. And before that, you can earn meme lords. And the beauty of that, just the thing that is like really hard, it's like all these things happening, is you're taking a token that you bought, you're creating another, you're harvesting another token that's continuing to increase in value because everybody wants that token to stake and pool and farm and harvest other coins. And then you're taking that token and you're putting it into a vault. And what it's doing is it's on an IDO, it's spitting out tokens for you for something that hasn't even traded yet, which means you're literally at the ground floor for free. You didn't have to do anything to make that. And so it's like a cascading waterfall, you know, of all these ways. And might I add, this is all on the Safe Dex. So these are coins that we're talking with these people. We know these people. We've doxed these people. We've audited these people. So it's literally only up from there, you know? So I don't know. I'm so excited about pools and farmings. And I only learned about it at like maybe 2 months ago. But it's just, to me, it's like, if you're not doing it, you need to be doing it. It's so great.
Yeah, you do need to be doing it. It's a lot of fun. So to know how to buy Super Shiba, they've actually put that process onto the website, which is supershiba.xyz. It takes you through everything step by step to buy Super Shiba, and then you can go to the Safe Dex, which is supershiba.exchange. Pull your Super Shiba, earn those treats, and then from there earn whatever else they have going. So literally you're earning for free, like Ben said, and you can do it with the knowledge that everyone is audited, that Byron is really good at doing his job, and you've seen him. He's told you what his job is. It's awesome. I love also in the Telegram chats, I'll pop those links into SmartProjx, the treats Telegram chat, and also the Super Shiba Telegram chat. They're really cool, and you do see a lot of the community asking where Ben has disappeared to, or giving props to Dealmaker or Captain Matt, who is also on the call, and now we will be giving props to Byron. Thank you, Byron, for being here as well.
Can I give one little small plug for treats? Is that okay before we wrap this up? Okay, so this is not financial advice, okay? But it's just like when you know something, you want to share it with a friend. You know, when you find that good project, you want to share it with a friend. Go look at the chart on Dex Guru for treats for the past 7 days. You can go to the timestamps and you can see that whenever we have an IDO and we do a vault, what happens is that pre-sale, they already have a Telegram community. They already have people, and they've been waiting for this coin and waiting for this coin. And then what happens is they announce they're doing their IDO with us exclusively, and then they tell their community about it. And now their community knows how many 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in their Telegram. The only place to buy it right now when we do this pre-sale is on the Safe Dex, and that adds a lot to their branding. But what we've noticed as an uptrend, and you can see it on the chart, is when we did the IDO for meme lords, there was about 2,500 people in their Telegram. And this is not a guarantee this is going to happen every time, but this is just what I'm noticing, is people realized when they got into the pre-sale that there was this thing called a vault. What's that about? And then there's these treats. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And there's buying pressure whenever there's an IDO. And you can go, like, don't take my financial advice, just go back and look at the days and the timestamps and everything. So if there's a hot buy, a non-financial advice hot buy, if you hear we're going to be doing future IDOs, I'm literally looking at things in my house right now going, what am I not using right now? I need some more treats. So treats is a good buy right now because, you know, our team is, I've never thrown a price out there for Super Shiba and said, we're going to $1 in 6 months. I'm really against the like empty promises. You have no guarantee where the market's going to be. $1 is inevitable for treats. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
And right now it's at 1.5 cents. It's inevitable. So if you go in and you get 10,000 treats and then you're harvesting, and this is the beauty, once that goes to $1 and you're harvesting, and now each one of those treats is worth $1, like it's inevitable, it's going to happen. Whether it happens in 6 months or a year, it's going to happen. So that's my little plug for that, and I'll be quiet now.
When you guys jump into the Telegram chats, you will actually see the links to the DEX Guru as well. The team, the very quickly growing team, actually chuck in quite a few links for you to check everything out. PooCoin charts was in there today as well. So you're always given a lot of information and a lot of links to what's happening. Also with the coins that they have audited and are now on the Safe Dex, they give links to that as well. So you're always kept well informed. And then there are regular voice chats happening within the Telegram chat. So it's a really exciting place to be, actually. Thank you so much, Ben, for tonight, for having our chat. It went a lot longer than we usually do, but it was exciting, and you gave
That's
a
my
lot
fault.
of great information.
That is totally my fault. Our voice chats for just a little update is an hour sometimes. That is my fault. But thank you for hanging in there.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, heaps of great info. Thank you very much, Byron, for letting us know what you do and ensuring that there is safety within this DEX. That was really cool to hear. I really appreciate everyone being on this call tonight, getting through all the tech difficulties that I seem to have all the time now. But we make it, and you're still here, so I'm really grateful. Any closing thoughts there, Ben?
No, I just want to say I love what this community is doing. And you heard it from the deal maker. He's, you know, we can't do anything without his approval when it comes to making a deal. It's why he's called the deal maker. And if he said we're going to do something, we're going to do something with you guys. He's already got an idea on it. So we need to get on that because, you know, I told you before I went on the call, I have a younger brother and he married Samoan. And so, you know, I have a heart for Polynesian communities knowing and really grasping crypto and how life-changing it can be as long as we make it safer. Yeah. And so I think you even being here, you're all leaders, you're all pioneers. And I think what you're doing right now is just amazing. And that's why Lainey told me, she's like, oh, we're going to do this thing. Is it okay? I was like, hell yes, I want to do this. Let's go. Polynesians need to be in on this. You know, we all need to be in on it, but I got a soft spot for that. So let's go, baby.
Yeah. Pioneering is in our blood, so it's just part of what we do.
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you so much, Ben. I'll see you around. Deal maker, we've got it on record that we'll be making deals. Awesome. Thank you very much. See everyone online. Have a good night.